What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wizards Outlook. We're joined, as always, we got Cardo Dudley Jr. Spoke to him a little earlier this evening. If you guys tune into the Focus TV, Wilson Tarpe Jr. And look, the Washington Wizards opened their preseason schedule this evening. They were hosting the Taipans, and they won in a rout, 145 to 82. Cardell, just what did you think of? What did you take away from tonight's game?
I'm happy that they jumped on them and dominated them. Saw an inferior opponent. They didn't play with them. They started the game on like a 13-0 run, and they didn't look back. Key stats. They won a fast break battle 28-6 and points in the paint 64-40. So the largest lead is the final lead, 65 points. The team didn't have the Taipans didn't have the lead at all. So they dominated. They did what they should do. Did pretty well on both ends. Love what I saw out the youngest, especially late in the second half when we on West Sunset realized they were up big to pull the starters and rotation guys and play the guys that are trying to, crack the roster one form or another. I like what Eugene Omarui. Omarui. My apologies. See his impact, the way he played the game down the stretch. That's how you get signed. That's how you keep staying on the roster. That's how you stick in the lead, man. Both ends. 16 points off the bench, 3 steals on 6-8 shooting from the field. Got it in on both ends, man. Kind of a undersized forward. He's built more like a Zion, so to speak, but he did his thing, man, both ends. And I love the energy. Even with the game out of hand, they still came out and they competed and they played like it was a tie game, like it was a game within reach for the other team to try to beat them. And he shined, man. It was just an all-around effort by everybody on up and down the roster. You expect Kuz to do what he did, with his 22 points leading the way. You expect Poole, to hit some big shots, 18 on 4 of 8 from 3. Gafford was dunking on him at will, blocking shots. He had 15, 8, and 5. Ty Jones was his efficient self, 11, 5 assists in 19 minutes. Still didn't turn the ball over. You know what I mean? And, Koulibaly, 5 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. He only had 4 shots, but he was 2 of 4. That's pretty much going to be his role. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to get limited shots. He got to hit a high percentage of them. And then with that, they increase his role. He'll get more shots and stuff like that. That's how the game goes, man, especially for him to be so young. All in all, man, they handled business. They did what they should do. Like I said, I wasn't looking into this like they playing the world champs, the Denver Nuggets or something like that. I was looking at it. I just want to see some improvement. I want to see some positives moving forward where they can hang on, they can build on and keep it moving. One thing I see is that hasn't been there in a long time is guys flying around defensively. That's encouraging. You know what I mean? And they got a lot of pieces that are willing to do those things, man. And they're going to have to do those things to win any type of ball game to be competitive. Because, any team can get hot. They do have a couple of nuclear weapons that can go off like Kuz and Poole and give you 30-plus between the both of them. You know what I mean? But they can't rely on that for 82 games. That's just because at the end of the day, Kuz and Poole going to be at the top of the scouting report for every team coming in. So they're going to try to contain them. But who else going to step up? You know what I mean? Obviously, Denny didn't play. Shaman didn't play. So they still aren't whole. But, like what I saw, man. You know what I mean? A lot of people can sleep on them. I hear a lot of predictions saying they're going to be dead last in the East is crazy. And I'm like, I ain't going that far. I'm not saying they're going to be a playoff team. I can see them being competitive and fighting for a play-in spot. You know what I mean? But dead last in the East, that's crazy. You know what I mean? But I just don't think people will realize the roster construction that they have, man. So if they stay healthy, keep the mentality, the defensive mentality they've been preaching all throughout preseason, all throughout training camp, then they'll be a lot more successful than what people expecting them to.
And I know we talked to you a little bit earlier. I think one of the things that stood out to me that you mentioned earlier, at halftime, was just the fact that they were willing on the defensive end, which is a far cry from what we've seen other times here. And that goes a long way, just being willing to be active, willing to move around, willing to take some pride in that end of the floor goes a hell of a long way. You also talked about the ball not sticking, so if you don't mind, just elaborate on that a little bit more. I know That's what you shared with us in the first half, just for anybody clearly who wouldn't have heard that or won't hear that till tomorrow.
Yeah, 32 assists as a team. That says it all, man. You know what I mean? Ty Jones 5. You know, Kuz had 2. Koulibaly had 3. Poole had 2. Gallinari had 3 assists. Gill had 3 assists. Darrell Wright had 6 assists. Rollins came off the bench. Young fella came off the bench with 3. 3 assists. Johnny Davis had 2 assists. It was just a total team effort. Like even when they started the game, they put the ball in Daniel Gafford had hands at the top of the key, and he was doing dribble handoff. I mean, normally he'd do dribble handoff and try to slip the back. Like he was doing dribble handoffs where he was actually looking for some backdoor cuts. Like Koulibaly, when was cutting backdoor, he was looking to read that first. Then he would hand it off when that where last year it's just strictly dribble head off into a guard and they go make something happen. That shows you the versatility and stuff that they're doing with that as far as that they're expanding it. You got a lot of guys' roles, and they're expecting you to be a lot more versatile within the offense, man, so that it can be a lot more harder to guard and a lot less predictable. You know, like kind of years past, hey, Kuz gonna shoot the ball, Bill gonna shoot the ball, Porzingis gonna shoot the ball. You know, somehow, some way, Kuz and Poole gonna get shots, but you don't know when, and that's the beauty of it. So, teams gonna really have to do their homework based on what I saw tonight. But again, you know, it's just the first preseason game. Considering who they're playing, we got to see them against some NBA caliber competition Thursday and throughout preseason to really get a feel because every team is ramping up right now. But this is a good start because, like we said, in years past against an overseas team or whatnot, it'd be a slow start, and they eventually warm up and then blow them out. You know, they jumped on them from the beginning. They jumped on them in warm-ups. So it was good to see.
Yeah, I definitely saw. I saw the 13-0 start, and like you mentioned, we've seen we've seen all the ways this doesn't typically go. So on Thursday they'll be taking on the Hornets. I know the Hornets also played tonight. So like you said, it'd be finally a test against it's the first test against NBA action on Thursday.
Right.
And we'll see how that goes. Don't forget, guys, follow us to Focus TV on your social media mediums, and it's that easy. We look forward to hanging with you guys on Wizards Outlook this year. We did have a comment card over before we get out of here from Big J. 52. Yes, sir. Liking the new energy, pulling Cool's leading. Pesky defense and that dude, Eugene.
Yeah, man, you can just see it. I mean, people catch on soon enough. You can just see it. Like, I look at a lot of things than just paper and big names and all that. Man, I look at the chemistry, the camaraderie on the bench with them, how they excited for one another. You know what I mean? Like that stuff matters, man. Those little things that a lot of people ignore matters, man. Because you have all the time in the world, man. If dudes don't like each other, you're not gonna win games. You know what I'm saying? So you could tell, like, they kind of eager to prove people wrong. You know what I mean? Whether that happens or not, that's on them. But they you can tell they not. It's none of that. Like man, we about to be trash, man. It's about to be a rough season. You don't see that. You see enthusiasm. It's just like, yeah, looking forward to getting to them. We're gonna surprise some people. It's more of that type of energy. So, it's encouraging.
For sure. And then again, 48 hours, we get to see them again, to see this, all the things that you mentioned tonight continue. And that's the important thing for the position at the end. Stacking those things, building on those things. And then by the end of the year, you just see where you end up at. But if if those are the things become staples, it goes a long way.
Right.
But y'all have a great evening. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll get at y'all later.